Hello everyone, welcome to the channel today, this morning. If you hear some noise, that's just the leaves on the ground as I'm walking through the path of my garden here. Let's take a look right quick.
Look at this, guys. Literally, this path wasn't like this on yesterday, and today we have high winds that we even on high alert in the state of California and certain cities and counties uh, because of the high winds of wildfires and etc. So I want all my California people just to be safe. The electric companies in the area have turned some of the power off. So please, everyone, stay safe. And I'm praying for everyone out here in the state of California, including my family as well. So, with that being said, guys, let's continue to walk around the garden. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel again for the second time of me saying that to you all. Just want to say that it's a great day, a great morning here in the state of California, Central Valley of Sacramento. We have high winds throughout our northern location. And if you have allergies, I would say take your medicine because the pollen is ridiculous. The lawn allergy is ridiculous. Whatever kind of allergy you got that you're suffering, stay in the house, drink your tea, and stay warm, stay cool. Stay warm or stay cool if it's too hot. Whatever you gotta do, just be comfortable. Don't really go outside much if you can because of these high winds. We are in a wildfire alert as well in certain areas because of the high winds. But today's content, I wanted to discuss with you about growing in containers versus growing in the ground. So let's just talk about containers of growing in containers. The things I have learned about my first year of growing in containers that it's very expensive when you first garden for the first couple of years. Now, as time goes on, you can manage and budget your finances when growing in containers, especially when you grow annuals. When you grow in containers, you have to choose the right container for your garden space. This means you have to pick not only the right location, but the right type of container. You can use the 6 foot long Smart Pot grow bag, the 15-gallon grow bag with handles, the 5-gallon grow bag with handles, Smart Pot, or containers such as a 20-inch to a 5. You want to get a soil that has mycorrhiza, which is a fungal that helps the root system to stay strong. You want to make sure you have azomite rock dust. It's a mineral that helps to give our bodies the right minerals that in our vegetables or fruit trees, so that we can obtain the right nutrients in our body and also the soil. You want to make sure that you have earthworm castings. Earthworm castings is very beneficial to the soil. It helps to feed the soil and allow our vegetation to become lush and our leaves to be greener. And the wind just to blow in our face and allow the leaves to basically slap us in the face. You want to make sure when you're growing in containers that it has kelp in the soil and it has compost. Why compost? You can feed your soil more when you add compost. Compost helps the microbes in the soil to feed the soil. Microbes are very important. Those little tiny, tiny bugs you can't see, they help to neutralize the soil. When growing in containers, you also want to remember in the hot summers or in the autumn winter months that you have mulch in your containers. What is mulch? Well, mulch you can use grass clippings. You can use that, which is nitrogen, for your soil, and it feeds the soil, or the vegetables, or flowers, trees, or bushes, berry bushes. You can use wood chips, will also help. You can use something like this, leaves. Leaves are very, very important when growing in a container or in the ground. It helps to feed the soil, give it nothing but nitrogen, oxygen. Uh, it feeds the earthworms, the red wigglers, the beneficial insects. You can't go wrong when you add leaves to the ground or in containers. You can even add wood chips, like I said before. As you see these white little specks on the wood, that is mycorrhiza. Wood chips break down constantly, and when your soil is being fed correctly, you will start to see when using wood chips, you will see mycorrhiza fungi. Not only will you see that, but you will see uh, mushrooms. And mushrooms is an indicator that your soil is actually feeding correctly. It is breaking down correctly the beneficial fungi, the beneficial minerals, everything that your soil needs to stay healthy. Number one, when growing containers, get your soil. When growing in the ground, get your soil tested. Go to a lab, soil lab, or do it portably on your own. Get a soil tester and see if your soil is acidic or alkaline. You will know this if you get it tested. That's number one. Number two, dig holes in different locations when you're growing the ground to see if your soil is sandy or is a clay, medium sandy, to see if it drains properly. When the water is quickly draining, that sometimes means indicates that you have like a sandy soil that needs a lot of amendments still. If it's a clay soil, you'll know if it takes hours or a day for it to drain. You still need amendments. You need your compost, earth castings, mulch, uh, etc. To work in that soil. The only difference in growing in the ground and container, it takes longer sometimes for your soil to become actually right when it grows in the ground. So you have to work that soil a little bit longer when growing in the ground than containers. The con to containers, I want to mention this before I forget. The cons to the containers is that you have to water a little bit more than growing the ground. In your first couple of years of growing the ground, if your soil need a lot of work, you're gonna have to water a little bit more. But how you prevent that is by mulching. Mulching is very important. It's very beneficial. The more wood chips, the more leaves you add, grass clippings, the better. You help to feed your soil. Compost, compost, compost. If you do not want to fertilize, liquid fertilize your soil, which using that fish fertilizer, all-purpose liquid feed, seaweed extract, kelp extract. You don't want to use those things. You can just use compost, 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 compost. Again, compost, chicken manure, stir manure, cow manure, llama manure, alpaca manure, goat manure. Some people would use sheep manure, lamb manure, any type of manure to help get that nitrogen. And you can use those things in your compost. You can use it straight near your fruit trees or your citrus trees or your vegetables, and it will work. A lot of people are doesn't don't like to use manures, but it actually works. You got to think about something. What they did in the years of BC and AD, which means before Christ and after his death, or medieval times, or late 1800s, 1700s, 1600s. We have to mimic Mother Nature, no matter if you live in an urban community or you live in the suburbs of the country, homesteading, whatever. You gotta mimic nature. We don't realize this is that, especially in urban communities, that our soil is depleting, and there's not a lot of greenery in our urban communities anymore, and that affects the beneficial insects, that affects our health, that affects uh, our earth, basically. No matter if you're growing in the ground, no matter if you're growing in containers as such, we need more greenery. We need it in our urban communities, especially because our earth, the soul of the garden, which is the soil, is crying out. The soil needs more carbon and copper. Our bodies take on copper and carbon. We breathe because of the carbon, the oxygen that trees give us. We don't realize it. Even the plants, even sometimes our vegetables help us to breathe. Y'all, please, can y'all do me a favor? Please, if you're a rookie gardener, a master gardener, just a person that is interested in learning, please do your research before you decide to garden. No matter if you're growing in containers, no matter if you're growing on the ground, it is very important to do your research. We don't realize uh, the importance of reading and doing our research before we take on a task, because though we wanted to grow these things like fruit trees, like say like a black sapote, I can grow a black sapote in the Northern California area, but I might can't grow a sapote in Washington because it doesn't act is not acclimated to the environment I live in. When it growing certain fruit trees in California, we are restricted to growing certain tropical trees. I can grow a black sapote. I can grow oranges. I can grow uh, lemons. I can grow persimmons, but I cannot grow a soursop. I can't grow a a durian. I can't grow a certain type of cherry tree. Why? It's because we don't realize with the tropical trees, such as the soursop, it brings off a certain type of fruit fly that causes disease to other fruit trees. Why do California uh, restrict these things, and certain states restrict certain trees in their location? It's because, like California, we grow a lot of citrus. We grow a lot of different apples for different states, and we are accountable of these things. So California has restricted certain tropical fruit trees in the area because it will kill off native fruit trees, native plants, native vegetables, native shrubs, and flowers. It will kill off their environment, their life cycle. It is important that you read before you do your research, before you take on a task. It is important not to illegally purchase fruit trees and smuggle them in your community, your town. Some people do it. I've seen it on YouTube. I've seen it, you know, in real life, basically, and in front of my face. So it's very important that you don't do this to the environment, because you don't know what diseases it will cause to the mother nature, what it will cause to even to your health. Let's be real. Sometimes we don't realize the dangers of growing something or doing something, and it will affect our immune system or our bodies. You know, so I just want to just give you some information about growing the